BECE writers, what are they doing now? The first WASI was written in 1993. Where is that first batch? If there's anybody listening who's part of that batch. Second question, have we as a products of the new educational system justified the transition from A-O level to BECE WASI? I ask this because the old system was exclusive. In the old system, you could do Form 1 to... In fact, to get into O level, you needed to write a common entrance. So already, there were people who couldn't get in because they will have to do middle school and things, and some went to technical school. Then when you do O level, Form 5, you had to then be among the best of the best to do A level. So A level was not for everybody. So in fact, most people would just have O levels, and O level was considered okay. And then A level was for the highly intelligent, all right? Because A level was like university level,
advanced.
Yes. So, is there any who? Okay, maybe let me rephrase the question. Who are some of the most influential products of the BECE system in Ghana today? And does their impact justify the transition? Because I think largely Ghana has been run by people who wrote the O and A levels. All right. Because if somebody wrote BECE in 1990, it means the person was probably 14 years old in 1990. So if you add 34 to 14, that's
44, 45. Okay.
48.
34.
So,
yes,
so
14, yeah.
the point is that most people who went through the JSS system are still below 50. Still age below 50. Right? And most of the people who wrote the A-level system are above 50.
Yeah.
So generally, when you see somebody who's above 50, he possibly did A-level. Of course, with the exception of a few people here. I won't mention their names. In line with that, let me wish a few people good morning, and then
I wrote my BECE 22 years ago.
I wrote mine 29 years ago. So I was there. So my group 95 was the 5th cohort of BECE. So which means we had only 4 years of Pasco to work with. You had many years of Pasco to work with. You wrote BECE in 96.
Yeah,
96. Yeah. Ghana was a different country. One of the best products of the BECE system I know is Kofi Dazi. Kofi Dazi used to run Rankard Solutions. I think he's a member of the MTN board.
Really?
Yeah, Kofi Dazi is very deep.
Yeah.
Wow. When you listen to Kofi Dazi talk, you think he's older than he is. It's not that old. It's one of the products of the SS system.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
And then there's also...
That's in the BECE system.
Yes. There's also John and Henry Amoesi.
Wow.
So when I was in university primary school, the smartest guy who wrote the first BECE was Henry Amoesi. He was a shark. Then his brother John Amoesi was a guy I interviewed during the... You remember the COVID time?
Yes.
There was a guy...
Yes.
The Kumasi version of... Whack Bip, that thing.
Yes, I remember.
That guy.
I remember.
Solid guy. He also is also a product of the. So BECE, we are not bad.
Yeah.
Half of politicians, we produce a few.
A lot, actually.
But we haven't. I keep saying we haven't yet produced a BECE Speaker of Parliament.
Yeah,
we have a BECE. Wait, did Apenya Markin write BECE? Yes. So we have. It's funny, yeah. The majority leader wrote BECE. In 1994, the minority leader, he wrote O level in 1994. So even though they are around the same age, I think the minority leader went through the old system, and the majority leader went to the new system. So I can say he is possibly the highest ranking political official of the BECE system, because the president didn't write BECE, the vice president didn't write BECE, the speaker didn't write BECE. The CJ didn't write BECE. The attorney general is A level. Godfrey Dami is A level.
Really?
Yeah, I think Godfrey Dami is A level. Could you go let me know? You are his publicist.
While you do that.
No, but it's an interesting question.
Yeah, it is.
So the highest ranking product, because Sky, that system was supposed to cure. They said the old system was not inclusive. That this system had more psychomotor skills. We could sew. We could use a hacksaw. We could do carpentry and pottery, So I don't know, and don't forget, Osafo is saying our educational system is not fit for purpose. And I can say now that we have more Ghanaians who did BECE than Ghanaians who did A level.
Yeah.
Because the population of people below age 48 is more than those above 48. Sure. So we are a majority BECE country. So did we go or did we come? So if you want to stretch Osafo Mafo's argument that the educational system is not translating into the way the society ought to be, is that a judgment on the BECE SS system? Because the majority, you can say majority of those in authority are the A-level system. So if you go to Parliament, I can say, actually no.
It's not easy like that.
Parliament is more difficult to check.
You have to actually look at
you have to check. But if you look at leadership, you see, if you take leadership of Parliament, let's take it one by one. Minority leader, A-level. Deputy minority leader is who? A-level, Kofi Bua. Minority chief whip, Agboja is A-level.
The way you are speaking with
I know. Who is the deputy chief whip?
For who?
NDC. Comfort Doyo.
Doyo Ganser.
She's obviously A-level or something before.
No, there's Ahmed before Doyo Ganser. Ahmed from what's the constance?
Banda. Ahmed, I'm not sure. Yeah. MPP. Apenyumake is obviously SS. His deputy is Cecilia. No. Comfort something at PJ.
Yeah, Patricia PJ.
This is A-level. A-level. Then you take Anodompre. Anodompre is A-level. Okay, Anodompre, I'm not sure. No, Anodompre is A-level. You know why Anodompre is A-level?
Why?
Because when I was in the university in my first year, he was the SLC president of UCC.
He's 46 years old. So you need to be very sure about. He's 46 years old.
It's another A-level. I'm not sure.
I'm trying to check from
because he was after Amin Andam. He's UCC, so I'm suspecting he was A-level. He was A-level. Brian Achampong is A-level. Look at the ministers of Akufo-Addo. Even this Akufo-Addo government who have newer ministers. If you take it one by one, Amin is finance minister, is A-level. Brian Achampong is agri minister, A-level. Henry Korte is A-level, interior minister. Defense minister is A-level. What's his name? Dominic Nitiwo. Kojo Oponkroma is SS. Information minister is SS.
Gender minister will be SS.
Gender minister,
most likely.
Yes, I think she is. Or the old system through whatever.
Maybe.
Which other minister is there in this government?
Kitty Hammond.
Kitty Hammond. Is there something before A-level? He went to this other college. So he's a pure A-level guy. A-level man, Charlie. Alright. And I'm not doing this flippantly because today's BECE day.
Yeah.
If Osafo Mafo is saying our educational system has not produced the right people, maybe with the SS system as well. Alright. So who else is significant in this government? The Attorney General, is he A-level?
The Attorney General, again, he's a very young guy.
But they are young. The A-level people are not that old though, because the last group was 96. So when I was in SS1, that was the last A-level batch.
So are we looking for the ministers who are doing well?
We just want to know those who are A-level and those who are SS.
I think the chief of staff is also very significant.
Chief of staff is more than A-level. A-level in chase. Chief of staff is A-level.
So he kept closing this. So he was in a Disadol from 1989 to 1996.
1989. A-level. So from 1 to upper 6. So it's the last batch. So it's Brian Achampong's mate.
Okay.
Last batch of A-level. 1989 to 1996.
1996.
Yes. So in some places, the ministers do standard 7.
Oh, this guy.
No, I just standard 7. It's proper thing. But I know you can do standard 7, and if you get a credit, you can do O-level.
O-level.
So from standard 7, you can. Charlie, the old system was wild though. Some do middle school, and then when you get to standard 7, you can then convert to O's as a mature student, and you can move from O's to A's.
So which one was that? Not did you get?
Oh, it's confused me.
No, do you know middle school? You don't know middle school, eh? Charlie.
So my mother went to middle school. Yeah.
Standard 7. Those days, Standard 7 was correct. When you do Standard 7, you can work. You can work as a clerk. Yeah. You can be recruited. It's the population that has not helped us. Standard 7 was concool. I can take all the Standard 7 people. They form as the BECE people say. I'm telling you, Standard 7 they be solid. I know people from Standard 7 who went straight into government service and they did very well. Yeah, Standard 7 and they go secretarial school snaps. Some even became ministers. With Standard 7, you'll be there. Now, a few corrections to make, and then we move on. And by the way, the other question for the BECE people. So again, this is to wish all our BECE candidates good luck as they write the exam. Who is our highest ranking BECE product in the judiciary? We don't have a CJ who's BECE yet. Our AG is an A-level graduate. He's the youngest, but he's an A-level graduate. Although he finished in 96, so he has made 2 railroad BECE. Do we have a BECE Supreme Court judge? I doubt it. Do you have a BECE Court of Appeal? I doubt it. Because they are all the oldest BECE candidate. Again, I'm using my age as an example. I wrote BECE in 1995 when I was 14 years old. So you can assume that if somebody was 14 years old in 1990, it means that they were born in 1976. Do you get it? That's the average of 75, 76. So is there a BECE product on the bench? If somebody's in the Court of Appeal, let me know.
Most likely.
Who's the highest BECE person in the medical field? Now our Minister for Health is obviously a BECE candidate. Do you have a BECE Vice Chancellor? Somebody who went through... because I remember one Vice Chancellor was announced as the first PhD who went through Legon to do a full PhD in Legon or something. Because prior to that, a lot of the VCs had studied abroad. Right. But this, I think, Professor Abba, I don't know where she did a PhD. Some PhD was announced. So do we have a BECE product who is a Vice Chancellor of a university? Or who is the... Of course, because ministerial appointments are not necessarily based on length of years of work, you can have a minister who is a BECE product. Yeah. But when it comes to things like a justice of a court, or the head of a civil service institution, or positions that require time, you get it? So there are some positions that require appointment because they know you. And then also elections like MP, youthfulness is an advantage. But when it comes to, say, in a profession like accounting, you know, I know quite a lot of BECE products who are partners at big 4 firms and that type of thing, in law firms and things. But, you know, so let me make a correction. So actually, Sky, you were right. Anodom Pre is a BECE SS candidate. So Frank Anodom was in Bishop Herman in 1995. So he did 93 to 95. Okay. So he wrote BECE probably in 92. He's now the majority chief whip. Attorney General, as I said, he went to A-level. Other ministers who did SSS. So you have Abu Jinapo. Even though his brother, I think, is A-level. I think his brother is older, right?
Yeah, he's older.
So I think Abu Jinapo is SSS. Sami Oku is SSS. Another correction, Frank Anodom was the NUC's president, not the SRC president, NUC's president. Number of things. Let me do a quick interview with John Kapi, who is the PRO of WAEC. So the basic education certificate examination commences today. 569,095 candidates will begin. It's a 5-day exam. It ends on Friday, and we have just put up the PRO of the service or the council to tell us more about the exam. Good morning, Mr. Kapi. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. So 569,095. Will this be the highest number ever to write the BECE at a sitting?
No, last year we had 200,900.
Okay. So any reason why the number came down?
I think there was a rush last year. A lot of people felt that was the last time BECE was going to be written. So we had a lot of people rushing in to write the exam. That's our suspicion. We don't have, real evidence to support that.
It also appears some private schools have opted not to join. I don't know whether that information has come to you, because I'm sure you know some of the candidates are from private schools, but some can choose to do other systems. Could that be the reason why the number has come down?
Well, I'm told that a number of people have decided to do the Cambridge system rather than write the BECE. So that's also a possibility. Yeah, we are aware of that as well.
Wonderful. But by the way, the exam has it come to stay? Are there plans of changing its format in the next few years, or is it going to remain the same?
Well, with examinations, there's always a possibility of changing the format, changing so many things depending on the manpower needs of the country. If, for example, we are looking at having a few more practical tests or having a few more forms of the test, why not? Yes, it's possible that these things can change.
I see. But what are the basic rules around this one? Every time we hear, they say no cheating. So basically, what? No foreign material in the room. Just remind parents of some of the things they need to let their wards know as the exam starts.
Right. So we have appealed to everybody: candidates, parents, guardians, invigilators, and supervisors. Basically, what we are saying is that we don't expect candidates to come to examination hall with mobile phones. They should not come to examination hall with any foreign material. They should do independent work, not solicit support from anybody within or outside the examination hall. No smartwatches, no form of electronic communication gadgets. So these are things that we are asking them not to bring along. Supervisors and invigilators are also barred from going into the halls with their mobile phones, just so that we can have some sanity.
A few days ago, we heard there were issues around amounts that government had to pay for the exam to take place. The exam started today. Does that mean that all the monies owed you by government has been paid?
Well, not all monies have been paid. We've received about 55.873 million cedis from the government, and that is enough for us to conduct the exam. But as we speak, plans are far advanced for them to release the rest of the money to us to be able to, conclude the process.
Wonderful. So today they do English and RMA. What
RME, yes.
RME. What are the subjects for the rest of the week? Do you know?
So they would have social studies, they have career, technology, they have computing, they have mathematics, they have science. And then come Monday next week, they have Arabic.
As a core or as an elective?
As an elective, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Kapi. Let me leave you to go back to your work. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
He is the PR of WAEC. So good luck to all our candidates. A little over 500,000 candidates, right? But candidates, you say that I think the number reduction from 600K to 500K is because some private schools have opted out because I know some private schools that were not happy with their candidates' results and they felt that the marking was too tough. I don't know whatever. They sort of felt that there was some conspiracy against private schools of some kind, and there are people who say that somehow the government's push towards private schools is not fair. So some of them have decided to stop the Ghanaian curriculum. So a lot of middle class families who have kids in some of these private schools, they are doing either Cambridge, they call it Pearson Edexcel. So a lot of them are not doing the Ghana system. And that's troubling. But anyway, 500,000 is a lot. So
yes, but I think you remember that some time ago the private schools were fighting this notion. In fact, there was a trend where people would take their wards to the private schools and make them register in the public basic school because they felt that the system was favoring those in the public basic schools, and some of the proprietors had challenges with this. And the minister's posture at the time was that if you are coming from if you are from a private school, no, this was for the SHS, that if you thought that you were good enough, they are bringing you students from the basic schools, public basic schools, to transform them, that kind of thing. So
there's a narrative around basic, public, and private, which some people think fits into. Anyway, just to wrap up on this subject, so Sky, I was asking about professionals within the SSS area. Somebody sent me a list. Dr. Hadi Abdullah is a neurosurgeon. He's an SS Kolebu, I think is a
solid guy.
The neurosurgery side. Dr. Francis Odai orthopedic surgeon, also SSS. Dr. Nicholas Apeko, also SSS. Dr. Umar Ibrahim, surgeon with cardio, is also SSS. Hajara, commissioner with NCCE, is SSS product. Dr. Titus Bayu, so this person is talking about people from a particular side, who's an executive of the Ghana Medical Association.
Okay.
Is also an SSS graduate. Professor Kweku Mensah is the Vice Chancellor elect of UPSA. He's an SSS product.
Wow.
Mahuto.
Wow.
He will be the first.
Wow.
First SSS VC.
Well, I mean, unless we interrogate the figures.
Of a proper university.
Charlie.
No, okay, let me change.
I'm told Valley View, VC is a VC product.
Okay, they should mention his name.
And that's also another proper.
No, it's a proper university. Yeah. It's a proper university. So
they are always
somewhere. Yeah. All right. So so let's read a few comments before we move to the next subject.
Dear Bernard and team, I am engineer Alex Hueku Tio. I wrote BECE in 1995. In fact, I was the first person to get aggregate 6 in the whole of my constituency now. Ayinsuano district. I am paying tribute to my school, Kota, Presby, JSS, and all the teachers then and now. I am currently a fine engineer in one of the state institutions.
Oh, so, beautiful.
Kota, Presby, JSS.
Kota.
So who's Kota?
Yeah. Mr. David Eninakwa was the Chief Executive Officer for Cocoa Board and GNTC, and he was a Form 4 leaver, middle school leaving certificate holder. This is from Bob Lee.
Middle school, they are strong and they grow
solid.
Middle school, but they grow.
Yeah, man.
By the time they come and join,
no, they're mature. Oh my God. The 2002 BECE group is the most interesting of all. Ask Obodai, the 2002 group must be monitored. From Jake in East Legon.
I don't know. We wrote the BECE with only 4 years of Pasco. 1990, 91, 92, 93, 94. The rest all we have to imagine. Right in 2002, you have almost 20 years of Pasco.
Yeah, I wrote in 2001.
Plenty Pasco.
Well, the highest court a BECE candidate would most likely sit as a judge would be in the high court. A chunk would be in the lower courts. Okay. Right. I wrote SSC with the majority leader in Augusco 1997. Yeah. Okay. Bernard, we are growing.
We are growing.
We are growing.
We grow already.
I wrote BECE in 1996 at Suesco.
That's
okay.
Nice, mate.
PSC. One of the candidates of Suesco is Psycho.
No.
One of the candidates of Swiss.
See, he said he wrote the BECE 96 at Suesco.
Yeah.
One of the candidates of Swiss. So I suspect Swiss was like his basic school.
Yeah.
Then he says psychomotor skills. No, I remember the song Children of the Land.
Gather
courage. JSS has come to save.
Gather courage. JSS come to save you.
Okay.
Only handle the tools we get, and the psychomotor skills shall flow.
There are groovies in the booty.
Don't be afraid. JSS came to save us. JSS. But were you singing that song?
Yeah, I remember it faintly.
It didn't get to inside the country.
Your village.
I remember it very faintly.
You don't remember?
I remember
Only
it
handle the tools with care, and the psychomotor skills shall flow. But those things are good though. Because the children don't know any song about anything. The song was what was motivating us.
The Rollins those years, they were using songs to permeate.
People were afraid of the BECE.
Yeah.
So they were moving to A-level.
Yeah.
They said, children of the land, don't be afraid. JSS has come to save you. Harry Sawyer. Only handle the tools with care. And the psychomotor skills will flow.
But these days, the tools are no longer even there. But honestly, I mean, those things were really useful.
Yes.
I mean,
Carpentry.
technical drawing, carpentry, masonry in some cases.
Yeah.
I mean, those things, we would have created a true.
I built a joint.
Yes.
I don't know what the name of it's a dovetail joint.
Okay.
For my project, I built a dovetail joint. I used a chisel to cut it, and I used a plane. Because I couldn't do a chair, but I did a joint.
The biggest thing happening in many parts of the world is do it yourself.
See that?
Yes.
DIY.
You should be able to fix a plumbing
No,
problem.
but now 3D printing has come.
AI.
So now we don't do psychomotor again.
But you see, when your car has a problem,
Yes.
you understand, you don't have to necessarily call a mechanic to come and fix the tire for you.
Ah.
If you believe the carburetor has a problem, you ideally.
But why does a car have to have a carburetor in today's 2024?
Oh no,
Carburetor car is 1995.
People can. That's what some people can afford. You can afford a new
They
one.
stop manufacturing carburetor.
But that doesn't mean
No,
that
they don't do
carburetor
carburetor
can
again. They don't do carburetor again.
Go to Kaneshi right now. Somebody has removed the hose and is blowing up.
Blowing petrol.
Yeah, blowing it.
Terrible habits. Terrible habits.
He said, "Raise the car for me."